Adam, what else is happening around Carolina athletics?
There was a big women's lacrosse match last night after press time. The Tar Heels took on Northwestern in Evanston, indoors, at 8 o'clock. We don't know the outcome of that, but you do. If the Tar Heels won that one, that's a really good sign because Northwestern's really good. There seem to be three teams that seem to be the top three teams this year. Boston College, as we've talked about, Carolina, and Northwestern. So what happened there? I think Northwestern's won 2 in a row against the Heels maybe. What happened there, I'll tell you a little bit about this year's team. What up to the Humphrey sisters? They all scored in the same game recently for the first time ever. Now, this weekend moving forward, you've got women's tennis at home today against SMU. Tar Heels lost to Duke on Wednesday. Tough one. Got the weird Wednesday-Friday schedule this week, which I'm not really sure why. So that was a tough loss. Duke is in the top 10 nationally. Carolina's in the top 10 nationally. SMU is not in the top 10 nationally. Tar Heels face the Pony Bros at 2 o'clock. Also at home, you've got men's tennis, so you can just watch tennis all day at the Tuning Tennis Center. Carolina's going to host Miami today at 5 o'clock. And you've got baseball at home, also against Miami. 3-game series opens tonight at 6 o'clock at Boshamer Stadium. That'll be a good one.
Tar Heels just beat South Carolina in the midweek on the baseball side of things. And Adam had one of the stranger things happen that can happen in baseball, I feel like. So the Tar Heels were at Boston College this past weekend. They won 2 of 3. I'm sure they've left feeling like they wish they'd have swept that series. They lost by, I think, 3-2 or 4-3 or something in the second game. But the point of interest that we are discussing is on the Sunday game. So Carolina was way out in front, up 10-0. And a rule change a couple years ago, maybe last year or two ago, was that if you get up by 10, the game's over after 7 innings in an effort to speed up games and just speed up baseball. And now this can happen in the ACC, like if you're playing a conference game. If you're playing out of conference, you have to agree with it. Like you and the opponent have to agree before the game or series begins, one of the two. So like if you've seen a game, like I think maybe Stony Brook or one of the games earlier this year, Carolina won by more than 10, but it was because the two teams didn't agree on it before the series. So anyway, that is the rule in league play. So the Heels are up 10-0, and they're in the bottom of the 7th inning. So the game's going to be over if Boston College doesn't score. Well, on top of the Heels having the big lead, Aiden Houck, who quietly has been awesome as Carolina's Sunday starter, Adam, he had a no-hitter. Now, it would have been a 7-inning no-hitter, but a no-hitter nonetheless. 2 outs. He did walk a guy. So there's a guy on first, 2 outs. The ball is hit by BC.
There you are. wrong.
The ball is hit. So there's 2 outs. Ball gets hit. The ball hits the runner in the base path. So now, by rule, the runner is out. Adam, I have to admit, I didn't know this. I don't know what I thought it was scored as. I guess in my mind, I always assumed it would be although fielder's choice isn't the right, wouldn't be right either. But it's ruled as a hit. So Aiden Houck ends up losing his no-hitter, which I'm sure that was a little bit frustrating, but he still was awesome. I think it was like 11 or 12 strikeouts and 1 walk, and played great, pitched great. Carolina won convincingly. But he loses the no-hitter because even though it was the final out of the inning and the game, it is scored as a hit. What an unusual sequence of events. And that's one of the crazy. Baseball will, more than any other sport, will give you weird things like this. What a weird thing to have happen. And to lose a no-hitter because of it. But again, congratulations, Aiden Houck. Been pitching awesome. Tar Heels have been through a little bit of an uneven portion of the season as far as the results, but seem to be getting back on track here and hopefully have a great weekend.
I feel like I've been paying pretty close attention to baseball for a few decades now. Never seen that before.
I don't think I have either.
But really, when would you? Like, what are the chances
Right.
that I'm about to finish out a no-hitter and the final play of my almost no-hitter is the runner getting hit by the batted ball, which you can go an entire season and never see?
Yeah, I mean, I just thinking about that, I think I have seen that before, but I bet I could count it on one hand how many times I've seen that through the years. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 times in like decades.
And in those times, when would it ever be really important to you?
Right.
How is that scored?
Right.
Specifically as relates to the batter, because I don't want it to be a hit, which I didn't in this case. The Diamond Heel Twitter sent out the no-hitter tweet. I saw it. And then it went away and became a one-hitter tweet. You just never know. What you do know is Aiden Houck is pitching great.
He is pitching great.
Miami down a little bit record-wise this year. I think they might only have one ACC win, but you know they've got a ton of talent. So do not take them for granted at Boshamer Stadium. Jones,
Yeah.
you better still know your scout. Rowing is at the Sunshine State Invitational Friday and Saturday. They get started at 7 a.m. You got to have your boat in the water early, Jones, in Sarasota.
Yeah. Boy, how early do you have to have your boat in the water if you are starting at 7?
Yeah. Well, they all played AAU basketball, so they're
Yeah.
all accustomed to that type of scheduling. Then tomorrow, men's lacrosse, big game at Army. Army's number 2 in the country.
Adam sent me that information. I had to double check it for myself.
Did it turn out to be right?
Adam's correct.
Okay, good. That's at noon. It's on ESPN Plus. That should be a pretty good game. Carolina's number 4 in the country, so that's a big one. Eventually, ACC play will start in men's lacrosse, but we're not there yet. Softball's at Syracuse this weekend. I think we mentioned that earlier. The baseball game at home tomorrow is at 2 o'clock. Then on Sunday, men's tennis at home against Florida State. That's at noon. Baseball, the series finale against the Hurricanes is at 1 o'clock. Softball finishes up their series at Syracuse at noon. I continue to be surprised that Syracuse has softball every time. Like, how about that? Good job, Syracuse. And then women's lax at Notre Dame on Sunday at 3 o'clock. If women's basketball wins today, they'll play on Sunday for the chance to go to the Final Four.